Assalamu alaikum, students. So I have been asked this question several times before as well. How do you do citations and referencing in APA style? So because you're all going to be doing this in Word documents, so I'm going to give you the basic method of doing referencing in Microsoft Word. This method is actually very effective. Rather than using other softwares that are available in the market, you can actually just use Microsoft Word processor to cite in your documents. So over here, I'll just give you an example of how do you cite content in text. There are two ways of citing content in text. So I'll explain both of them, and then I'll explain how do you create the referencing list. So let's just dive deep into it, and I think everything will be cleared by the end of this video. So let's suppose this is the first sentence that we need to cite. So this sentence says the impact of risk on profitability is established in the previous studies. So we need to cite this, that this is from a certain study, let's suppose. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go where we want our citation. So we want our citation to be over here at the end of this sentence. So we're just going to go to references. In references, we have this button that says insert citation. So you can choose the style over here. We are going to use APA, but you can choose Chicago or any other that is used in your university. We use APA in business administration, and we use APA at the Islam University of Lahore. So we're going to use APA 6th edition. You can even add new citation styles in this. So they are downloadable and installable. This is where you will generate your references. I'll show this to you later on. So let's go to insert citation. Over here, the first thing that you're going to see is what sort of a text are you going to cite. So this is an important part of word citation in any style, because you need to tell the software, because software does not know what sort of a document or report or website that you're trying to cite. So what you're going to do is you have to inform the software which type of a document you are citing. So let's suppose this is a book or an article in a journal. Or it was a report, or it was a website. It can be an electronic source. It can be an art. It can be anything. You see, so there are a lot of options. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna select whichever is the right option for you. For example, article in a journal. This is the most common source of referencing. Otherwise, we use books as well. We use websites even. Okay, so it's not a big deal. It can be a document from a website. It can be a report. So let's suppose this is an article in a journal. Okay, the next one I'll do a book so that you will understand that. So who are the authors? Now, while inserting the names of the authors, you have to make sure that they are in the last name first, and then the first name. So if you have to write my name, I suppose, so I would write it like this. In fact, I'll just give you the easiest way to do this. You just go into edit and write the full name over here. So the first name, and then the surname. Because here in Pakistan, we just use uh, the first name first and last name last. And then you click on add, and this would add you as the first author. This is the first author. Let's suppose there is two authors. Okay, so then you add the name of the second author. So the name of the second author is, let's suppose, uh, Ali Hassan. Okay, let's suppose Ali and Hassan is the name. So we're going to write Ali, and then surname is Hassan. Hassan. So we're just gonna add that. And we keep gonna adding as many authors as there are in that paper. So if there are no authors, then I'll tell you what to do. Okay, you just click OK, and they will just write it for you like this. If you write it yourselves, you cannot write dash V column. You have to write it this way. Next thing. Then comes the title. So let's suppose the title of this document was risk and in managing on. So this was the title of this paper. Okay. Then you can give the name of the journal. So the journal was the Journal of Risk finance, let's suppose. And the year of publication, let's suppose it was 2023. The pages, let's suppose it was from page 1 to 10. Then you can go with more information as well. If you know the publisher, let's suppose it's Emerald City of the publication. If you know that, if you don't know that, you can ignore it. If you know any further information, you can go to it. Suppose it was volume 10, issue 1, and so on. So you just keep on filling this information. You see, it's a huge form. If you know the name of the editors, any short titles, I'll explain what all these are for. Okay, so this is what you'll fill in over here, and then click OK. So see where your cursor was, it will automatically insert a citation. You see, this is Shafiq and Hassan 2023. So this is for our journal, and let's go for the book one as well. Let's suppose if you read the sentence, states that risk mitigation is the key to increase profitability in firms. Now, who states this? So we have to cite it over here, the name of that particular paper. This is in parenthesis. Parenthesis, we call these brackets parenthesis. So this citation that is at the end of a sentence is usually in parenthesis. The one at the start of a sentence is usually without the parenthesis. Only the year is in parenthesis. So I'll explain this to you again. So insert another citation. This time let's make it a book. Okay. So the authors again I'll just give you my name. Uh, this time I'm gonna make it a bit different. So what name can we get over here? Um, name. Let's suppose it is. Let's suppose it is Fatma Ali. Okay, so Ali is the surname. Ali is a very common name, and Fatma is also a very common name in this country. So Fatma Ali. Okay, so let's just add this over. So I am differentiating this so that you know the different names when I am citing these, so that you can identify. There will be more citations from one author as well. For now, just for the basic course, I'm just going to give you an example. Okay, so let's make it final. And let's say the title of the book was Risk Management. City of publication was, let's suppose, Bahawalpur. Publisher was uh, yeah, publication was let's suppose 2022. Click on this, show all the belong fields so that we can fill more information if we have. So if let's suppose we know the province, we'll fill it out. Continue that out as well. There's no volume, number of volumes, none pages. We don't need to give this information. So if it's an edited book, in that case, you'll have to give your editors over here. Again, the same way you gave your names at the author's column. And, so that's it for this one as well. That's just click. Okay. And now you see there is a problem. It is giving the citation, Shafiq and Ali, then it gives the name of the book, and then it gives the year. But in usually in AP style, we don't cite this like this. So Shafiq and Ali had to be outside the parenthesis. Then this and had to be A and D, not the symbol. The symbol is actually used when it is inside the parenthesis. And lastly, only 2022 has to be inside the parenthesis. So there are certain ways in which we do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to click over here and say edit this citation. And over here we are going to press the author and the title. And click OK. In this case, we are just left with the year. You do not want to delete it and write it manually because then it will not be added to your references list. So you have to put it through this software. Now what do? We just manually add the name. You see, I used A and D instead of symbol of N because in the citation, which is the start of a sentence, has to use the A and D word rather than the symbol. Symbol will only be used when it is in the parenthesis. So let's suppose there is another sentence. This okay. So let's suppose we want to cite this as well. So whenever we are going to cite this, let's suppose we add a citation over here. Now we are going to cite a website or a report. Okay, let's suppose it's a report. Now we want to go cite this report, but there is no author in this report. There are no editors. There is nobody in this report that we can write or attribute this work to. But the report was published by the United Nations, let's suppose. So if we write United Nations over here, it would be nations, comma, United, and it will be like an author's name. So then it would just be cited as nation. So what we'll do is we'll click on corporate author and we'll write United Nations or UN for short or the full form United Nations, whatever you want to write. And then the title, which is this, let's suppose, publisher, nation, city, let's suppose, dot, year was 2021. But you can fill the rest of the information as well. It's just up to you. And let's just click OK. So sometimes what would happen is you will not have a year. So let me just edit this, edit the source. Sometimes what we find is that when you're citing a website, you might not have a year. So what you're going to do is you're going to put ND over here, N dot D dot. Okay, so like N dot D dot instead of the year because that is not present. Sometimes you might not have an author, but you can give the website's name or the anything like that in this. But sometimes what happens is the title of that website or an art, that website article or that report or that book or that paper or something is too long. Journal articles don't have this issue, but sometimes the title would be too long. So in that case, what we're going to do is we have to shorten that title. We cannot give the whole title because when there is no author, okay, when there is no author in the text, what will happen is the title would become the authors, will fill the author's area. So we'll fill a short title, let's suppose. Yes. Let's suppose this was a huge name. So we're just going to write the shorter version over here. Click. Okay. So what you that would do is that if there is no author, it would show the short title over here. See, and if you just want the short title to appear over there, what happens is, uh, again, that would be long for this video, is that when there are too many authors in the paper, and you have to write it in a form where it says, let's suppose Shafiq et al. So what you do is you just go to edit source. So you just go there and you'll just write in short title, let's suppose Shafiq et al. Shafiq and all. Okay. So this is Latin. So when I go here and edit the resource and suppress the author, it will bring up the short title. You see, Shafiq et al. So because it will not be a tell for the first citation, at least when there are like 7 or 8 authors. So until then, it will not do a tell. So in some text, you need to do a tell even after the third author. So uh, that is why you use this technique. Because for now, just let it be original. Okay. So this is how you're gonna cite in text. This is called in-text citations. Now let's generate the list of bibliography or references that we so often use, the word references. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go to bibliography and again you can choose any of this, it's almost the same. So click on bibliography. And here all your references are listed in alphabetical order. You do not need to do anything like this. And all the style is in APA. You see, the O has been reduced, A has been reduced. Similarly, the title of the journal has been italicized. It has to be italicized. All the information that is needed is over here. We do not need anything. For example, for this book, it was published in Bahawalpur, Punjab, Pakistan by the Islam University of Bahawalpur. And the title of the book has been italicized. That tells you that this is a book. So this is how you cite in your documents in text through using the word processor. You can like I usually prefer this software, this in-text citations in word processor for documents that are small that have less citations like 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe 50. For a research paper, it is fine. But when it comes to a thesis, when there are hundreds of citations, I did my PhD thesis citing through Word like this, and it took me forever. Well, that is why I now use softwares for that. But in this case, it's suitable for this because when I used to update the list of references, it would even take overnight. I'll just put it to update the list of references and we'll see. And in the morning, the list was still uh, either being generated or was generated already. So used to take a lot of time because there were a lot of hundreds of citations. So, but usually it will just do it in a few minutes. So whenever I'll change anything over here, this list will also be updated if I click on this upgrade citation level progress. So you can upgrade the list automatically. So this is how you generate the automatic list and cite text in any style in the word processor. So we use APA, that is why I showed you APA. And the interesting thing is if you want to change the style, you can just go here, like Chicago, and now everything will change into Chicago. Similarly, if you want to use Harvard, so you just Harvard and the whole citation style in the text as well as in the references will change to Harvard. So this is why we prefer to do it through Microsoft Word. So I hope you learned something new. And if you have any questions, you can just leave them in the comments down below and I'll answer and try to provide my feedback. Thank you very much.